Good afternoon, LA. It's December 25th, so you know what that means. It's Merry Christmas. Oh my God, what's up, y'all? Episode 3 of More Versus Podcast. Shout out. We're doing it again. It's been some time. It's been about a month. Your girl has been busy, and she's been working. She's working. She finally got a job. After how many months? How many months have I told y'all before? 8 months? Was it 8 months? From April? No, from May. From May to December. You do the math on your own. That was how many months I was without a job. I know. We will get to that. But first, Merry Christmas, y'all. It is definitely a... I feel like I can breathe this Christmas. I feel like I am just cozy. It's very soft. It's a very, very soft Christmas. And I got my Nana with me right now. This is actually, oh, how ironic. Not that my cousin gave me this blanket of me and my Nana last year at Christmas, and that was very special. So I have her with me right now. So yeah, like episode 3, more of Marissa podcast. Welcome. If you're a first time viewer, welcome. You're not so behind. This is only episode 3, so please watch the other 2 episodes that I have out my podcast. I'm also sharing this podcast account with my YouTube videos, so my YouTube videos are also, thank you. No, literally your comment was perfect to what I just said. Boyfriend's in the back. He's playing his video games. He's also enjoying his very soft Christmas. So yeah, I'm sharing my podcast with my YouTube channel. I am focusing right now on just doing these kind of videos before I tap into doing back to vlogs. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Hush there, baby. Thank you. You're like, this is not the only room we have in our apartment. It's just we have the other room, but it's all messy in there because of laundry and Christmas stuff. So I was like, sorry, babe, we're going to have to share this space for right now. Hopefully he... Yo. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram and on Snapchat at Marisavasquezz with 2 Z's at the end. And yeah, link in bio to follow up with me and my little life I got going on here in LA. Let's get into it. It's been a while. I feel like, as you know, you guys know already that I have a notebook to kind of write down all the updates, all the things that I want to, talk about in my podcast. I just don't know what to do with this hair, guys. I really don't. I just don't. It's also been a year since I've gotten my hair done. I'm trying to, actually, I found a hairstylist out here. It's just about saving that money because y'all know to dye and cut our hair, it's like $400 or $300 or out here in LA. Honestly, I just put her up in the bun all the time because I'm just like, baby, I don't know what to do with you. Yeah, so that's just what we're gonna do. I wanted to leave her down because I feel like I always have her up, but oh well. Okay, so yeah, it's been a while. As I was writing this down, I'm like, oh wow, I don't have a lot of updates, but I do at the same time. I guess we'll get into it, y'all. I want to start off by saying Merry Christmas, talking about how I'm feeling today and how soft it's been and my mental health and all that. And so I'm feeling today, how I'm doing. I'm feeling very chill, very relaxed. This is the second Christmas I've ever spent in California ever. Not sure if I've ever mentioned it. I don't think so. I don't even think I've mentioned this even in my YouTube channel too. I gotta put myself in check real quick because I feel like I'm always saying, "Oh, I'm so brand new to California." Yeah, I should stop saying that. So if you ever hear me saying that, stop me. Stop me because that's not the case anymore. When I was 6, my mom, my sister, and I moved to California, up north, and we lived there for about a year. So my mom is originally from California. So growing up in Boston, we would come to California, I would say like every year or every 2 years. It was frequent and we enjoyed it. So when I lived here when I was 6 years old, that was my first Christmas ever. So this is my second Christmas ever at 26. Wow, so 20 years ago. Wow, 20 years ago, I lived in California. 20 years ago, I spent my first Christmas. How funny is that? Damn, I feel old to say 20 years ago. Wow, so 20 years later, I would have never known I would have spent my second Christmas here. But California is so big and so overwhelming, so there's obviously much I haven't, seen before. And that's why it still feels new because home is where the heart is, Boston. But for Kenny can say that he's brand new to California and that this is his first Christmas ever. So it was different. It really was different. I honestly had the opportunity to go back home because surprisingly my job has a 10-day holiday break, which is not, in my opinion, not really a thing, because for lack of better words, which is not something you hear a lot coming from a mental health agency. Because think of it, when you think of a mental health agency in LA, you would think like we'd only be closed for Christmas, or not even, right? Like, but I'm surprised we have a 10-day holiday break. So I did have the opportunity to go back, but I wanted to focus on my money, get my money up, and I want to just drop a whole $500 ticket to Boston when that could go to rent, because rent is due soon. New Year's Day. So, I wanted to get my money up. And then honestly, y'all, I'm going to take the time saying this because, like, this is how you know I'm growing as an adult. I just didn't want to. I wanted to spend my Christmas here. And the reason for that is because although holidays are very fun, celebratory activities, family, love, glitz, glamour, the whole shebang. Although I really enjoy it and love being with my family, I am super family orientated. Or I aspire to continue to be that way. I felt that going home is also very heavy and a lot. And I know not a lot of y'all can agree on this, that, even some of the family members I called today did not want to talk for long. They just wanted to kind of be to themselves. And I get that because, family can be a lot. I think we all don't have that. We don't all come from a perfect family. So, and especially when families are impacted by mental health and just a lot of stress and trauma, it's not that easy to, let's celebrate, I feel personally that I come from a loving family, but at the same time, we're all in our own bubbles and very isolated. And it's not just with Nana passing about a year ago. it's always has been this way, and that's why I felt like super close, and I could relate to my nana because her question was always why, you know, are we like this? Why are we so isolated and divided? But nana's like that too, so that's also why I felt like as a kid I put that responsibility on me to want to be family oriented and to get the family together. Like, I think I created a family Christmas tradition about 5 years ago, I think. And it has been very beautiful because I did manage to get the family together with the help of the aunts in my family. Um, but I felt like, not to toot my own horn, but if it really like wasn't for me being proactive and finding the importance of like being together with family, I feel like my family would just like continue to just be isolated. And I managed to do this from coming across the country. Like I've been coming I've been in California since the summer of 2017, and I've had the opportunity, thank you to God, to come back ever since, for what, like 8 years in a row or six. So this is the first winter I haven't done that. And, it's up to them to see what they end up doing, you know. But yeah, I don't know where that responsibility came from. It wasn't like anyone was like, Marissa, you're the one that's gonna be the event coordinator and plan all these things. Like, I just did that on my own, and it's because I really do enjoy, holidays and being with family. And my family didn't need to, but they did come together, and that was really special. And we had a lot of fun, and there are a lot of memories that I can think of, you know, and that I have, and that are even on my YouTube channel that I was able to capture. So that's very special. Where am I kind of getting at this? Tying it back to this year, it is very different. It is very different. I didn't get to go. I'm not back, I'm here, and I the way that I'm kind of viewing it is I'm just creating my own traditions. And luckily, I know I'm a very sensitive person, but like, I haven't been feeling depressed. I've just been enjoying my time, and I think that I'll get into how work has been, but now that I'm transitioned or and still transitioning from post grad life to now being employed and officially a therapist, like, it has been tiring. Like, these past 3 weeks have been very tiring, and it was too much to think of going back home and planning all these things and trying to gather the family together, despite people's personalities and, you know, their moods and things like that. Like, I just didn't want that for myself this Christmas. Like, I really wanted to just be in solitude. I just wanted to have a very soft Christmas, and I wanted to save money. So in the season of transition, in the seasons of just wanting to do things, wanting to be open to what my body was feeling and wanted to do, I'm listening to that, and I'm realizing, like, you know, it was the best decision for me, and my family took it well. Again, I guess, like, I put this pressure on myself a lot because when I told my family I wasn't coming back, why did I think like they were gonna get upset, you know, or feel some type of way? They were all very understanding, like, girl, we get it. Like, you just got a job 3 weeks ago. You got to get your money up. You should enjoy your new apartment. And like, I wish that I can continue to encourage myself and influence myself that this pressure that you put on yourself, Marissa, you do it. You do it to yourself. Like, nobody holding a gun to you, girl. So I wish I could speak to my inner child. I mean, I wish I can. I want to speak to my inner child and tell her, like, girl, you don't gotta go all out. You don't gotta be everywhere. You don't gotta stretch yourself thin. You don't gotta do any of that. And your family's very understanding to that. Take that as a gift and take that as a response that you don't have to be everywhere and everyone for everyone. And I love that I'm very family orientated, but I also feel like my inner child is also telling me, like, save that when you have kids. Pour all your ideas and create, and you get to determine how holidays are going to look for your future kids. And that excites me. I mean, I think I've been thinking about that a lot lately too, is like, oh, like what the holidays are going to look like, and when I have kids and all the exciting things I would love to do with them, because I enjoy it myself and I think that I bring that joy and that energy, and it's really important to me. It's really important for my future family. And even one of my aunt told me, she's like, all this energy that you're trying to put into fixing the family, I'm letting you know right now, like, unfortunately you can't do that, but you can start to pour that energy and those ideas into how you want to manifest, your own ideas into a future family that you have. And so I love that reminder that I'm bringing up for myself, because I just really hope that I take it as a reminder, like, to relax, Marissa, and you get to enjoy yourself. And so, hello, that's what I'm doing, and I'm just so thankful to say, like, I don't feel depressed during these seasons. I feel like I'm charging my battery. I am enjoying this alone time. I'm enjoying my apartment. I'm enjoying my time with my boyfriend. I'm enjoying myself. And I think that's important. And so yesterday, I had plans of cooking. Today, after this, when my meat is thawed out, I plan on cooking. I'm making my own traditions, and I think that's really important for me and special. Yesterday, I tried to make alcapurrias. So alcapurrias is like fritters, if you will, that have like meat, ground beef in them. It's a Puerto Rican appetizer, and it's one of my favorites, including Kenny's. And my nana made them so yummy. She makes them the best. And one time when Kenny picked me up from our house, like, I just thought of him, and I was like, oh, like, let me give him an alcapurria that my nana made. And I was just doing something so small, but when I gave it to him, his eyes lit up and he was so happy. And then now thinking back, I'm like, I'm so happy he got to taste my nana's cooking. And her famous alcapurrias, because she wouldn't make it that much, because now I figure out why she didn't make it that much, because shit, it's tedious. It was very hard. Even my aunt on the phone was like, yeah, like, that's tedious. So I tried it. I attempted it, and I, like, tried to, like, kind of walk in with, like, not with an expectation, with an affirmation, and just kind of letting myself know, like, hey, we're gonna try this, we'll see how it goes. It ended up being a fail. And I was really hard on myself, I'm not gonna lie. But I had to tune it back and be like, Marissa, like, I just don't know where all this high expectation and where me being so hard on myself, like, really comes from. Like, I bet I can, like, point out or see where it stemmed from. But at the same time, like, I am extremely a hard critic on myself. Like, I am so hard on myself, and I was so close to getting it to the texture it needed to be, but I think, like, um there was too much oil that I put in it, and also I need a food processor, and I was using a blender to hopefully, like, mash the plantains and the yuca, but it just wasn't doing it. And so that's when my aunt was like, yeah, you're gonna need a food processor. And I don't know how back in the days they did it. Like, I think they just, like, mushed it or grated it, and it just was really hard. And in that moment, I didn't get emotional, but I thought to myself, and did feel some type of way, but I was kind of like, damn, I wish my nana was here, you know, or damn, I wish I could just call her and be like, and then how do you do this part? So that part is just like, it's really hard. Dang, why am I so emotional all the time? Stop, Marissa, don't be mean to yourself. You see what I mean? I gotta like talk to myself through it. And those are the times where I'm just like, I wish I could call her, I wish I could talk to her and thank her that I love being Puerto Rican and I love her food and I miss her food. Like, I wish I could just have those kind of conversations and tell her things that I didn't get to before. Yeah, like I literally just thought to myself like last night, like, I wish I could call her to just get some guidance on this. And me, I think that it's kind of making sense now why I can be kind of hard on myself, is maybe not getting the help or the guidance that I was supposed to. So doing it on my own is just really frustrating because sometimes it just feels like I don't have the guidance. Think about it, like me cooking, I literally say that I'm a good 70% or 80% self-taught when it comes to cooking. The rest, my family has taught, but I really feel like I kind of figured it out on my own. And I love that I can say that because I can pass down that tradition to my kids, or I can teach them and have fun with them. And and it's beautiful for me to say that I'm self-taught, but again, like the emotional side is just wishing that I got extra support and guidance and recipes written down, So that's the hard part about it that I did feel yesterday. And like, shout out to my boyfriend, who always intervenes and says, like, it's okay. Like, I didn't expect this. I didn't expect you to get it done the first time, or we'll figure it out. If, we'll get something else out to eat, or we use what you have. And so he's really good about that. I'm the one that beats myself up like a dead horse, and I'm glad those emotions came out because clearly that was something. It's so crazy how like you don't know something affects you until you talk about it. Even as a therapist, I can say that too. It's like your feelings are so broad and it can be unknown, it could be very hidden, it could be masked, it could be, you could think you're healed about it, but it comes up, So I'm glad I let that out. Today, I plan on making, I think this is one of my top like my top favorite meals that I enjoy cooking and that everyone loves. I don't know how to really name this one, but it's basically pasta. It's Alfredo pasta combined with marinara, like this garlic herb marinara, and the combination is just bussin' with some turkey ground beef. Like the combination is bussin'. So I made that a while ago. No, I made that last week, and I'm making it again because boyfriend wants some, and of course, like I can't say no to it. And so yeah, I'm making that once that turkey meat thaws out, and I'm making coquito, and this will be my first time making it by myself. The coquito, I've made it with my first time with my brother, and I'm happy to say that. But this time it's gonna be on my own. And my friend Yvonne made it, but I didn't get to do it with her because I was making something else. Um, so I really hope it's a good turnout. And Marissa, no expectations. You're trying to do this. It's okay. You have everything you need. Let's just see how it goes. So yeah, I was kind of just telling myself, kind of like, no expectations. Don't think it's gonna be perfect. But I'm excited to start cooking. I'm gonna make some cookies tonight, and drink some wine and watch some more Christmas movies. So I'm really excited to do that. And I was really, I've been thinking about doing this podcast episode for a long time now. So I'm like, we're gonna do it on Christmas, and it worked out. Yay! Okay, so that's how I'm feeling today. That's how I'm doing today for Christmas, and I just want to applaud myself and give myself a hug for being extra gentle to myself, for enjoying myself, and for and just feeling satisfied, just feeling okay. Just like literally all glory to God, because God knows I'm so emotional, and God knows how easy it is for me to like fall into a slip of depression. And I'm just so thankful to say, like, I'm actually okay. I miss my family, but I know we're all probably cozied up right now and just enjoying our time. And as long as we're safe, as long as we're healthy, as long as we're alive, I'm okay. But I do miss them. I do miss doing Christmas games with them. But I think Marissa needed a break. But it is sad that, you know, I could just tell that my loved ones, yeah, are going through it. And, you know, just kind of like feeling the holiday blues. It's just sad to see that is the feeling how people feel during the season too, because it is very heavy. It is. I'm just really proud of myself. I am. That I chose myself and I chose to listen to my body. Okay, let's transition. Speaking of transition, let's transition. How has my new job been? This is hard because there's a lot I want to say, but I'm learning to compartmentalize. I'm learning to manage my feelings and manage that. Unfortunately, I can't share everything with the public. I'm a yapper, so like I want to just say it all. So this is a challenge for me. I'm only going to share a couple of things. So far, work has been good. I'm blessed to say that I have a job. Like, can we just focus on that real quick? That all these months I was worrying, all these months I went without having a job, all these months without, having an income, I can finally say I have a job. Like, woo! Aplauso, please. Applause for me, because wow. I was waiting. And God, I was patient. You got to give it to me. I was patient. And I miss it so far. So all the times where I was telling myself, girl, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss, you're going to miss being employed. You're going to miss all the times you got to sleep whenever you wanted, do whatever you wanted. You're going to miss that. And boy, I do. Excuse me. But boy, does it feel good to make money. And boy, does it feel to be started in your career that you work so hard for. It's a full circle moment. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a full circle moment. I literally have to like kind of pinch myself and check myself and be like, oh my God, you're a therapist. Oh my God, you're not an intern anymore. Oh my God, you're not a student anymore. Oh my God, these do not count towards your school hours. Like this is you making, this is you counting hours towards your licensure, because right now I'm here to be a therapist, and you have to become, or a social worker, you have to become licensed, an LCSW, licensed clinical social worker. Well, I'm the step below it where I'm accruing my hours towards licensure, and that step above below it is called an ACSW, so an associate clinical social worker. So I'm in the process, yes, of accruing hours towards licensure. But yes, I'm officially a therapist though. Like when I see it under my email or just as my title, clinical therapist 1, I'm like, bro, full circle moment. It's crazy. Like, God is good. I have a stable income, a full-time job. It's salary, in my big girl seat, doing big girl things. And it's just like, woo! I already have a couple clients already. So yeah, they started me and I'm like, yep, let me get those hours, baby. But not just that. I'm not viewing it just as that. I'm just like already so amazed that I'm doing it. And I'm like, I know what it's like to be on the other side because I have been in therapy since I was um, a teenager. And I'm currently not in therapy myself, but I just was a couple months ago. So it's like, wow, now I'm on the other side. And it's just like full circle moment, you know? And it's also like I relate to you. And it's also what makes me feel like I was meant for this because I get it. I may not get every life experience that my clients share with me, and I'm not supposed to, but it is a beautiful thing to be able to resonate with your clients and be able to know how to help them with your own life experiences. So far all my clients are lovely. I love connecting with people, and that's why I enjoy therapy and meeting with them. I was nervous, you know, and there was some times where I'm like, oh, Marissa, focus, you're in therapy. Oh, you know, where I have to just like regroup myself and be attentive to their needs. And there was times where like it did get really nerve wracking. Where I had to perform 2 safety plans, but that's why, you know, I'm surrounded by people because they're supposed to support me. And just shout out to my coworkers so far. They've answered all the questions that I've had. They've been very welcoming, and I'm happy to say that, you know, the wait was worth it, I guess. You know, I still say that with some like resentment because my experience shouldn't have been that way, and what I'm actually currently experiencing too, I don't deserve, but I'm just saying, hey God, get in my boat and just help me out. Because when I can't depend on others, like God, I gotta depend on you. And literally the best way I can say is like my spirit is guiding me, because there's so much that like I'm overwhelmed with, and so much that I don't know, and so much pressure that I really feel that is applied. And the world is like, this is what you signed yourself up for. But God is like, I got you. I got you. So I'm just letting my spirit, God, just kind of guide me, because yeah, there's already been some areas I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And you know what's really interesting? How the nervous system is so interesting. I'm getting nervous and my body's literally communicating with me, because like I have to literally like breathe, stop myself and like breathe. So I've been having like a really hard time with breathing lately. So I will say like my anxiety's back. Um, and I just have to keep giving myself grace. Like I have to just keep talking to myself. So I'm just using the coping skills that work for me. And I can just tell I'm really nervous and overwhelmed because I have to pee like every 30 minutes at work. And TMI, but I always have to go diarrhea. I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, what? Yeah, I have to pee like every 30 minutes, and I kid you not, bro. Like, I'm pooping a lot during the day, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I'm like, am I eating something? But I really think it's my nerves. I think I'm nervous, and I read that before too. That like, not only can you pee a lot, you find yourself peeing a lot, but I saw too, like even like you can get diarrhea when you find yourself pooping a lot. Like the nerves, it's just the nerves. So yes, I've been nervous and overwhelmed. So that like literally that. But leaning on to God, because when I there's a moment where I pause and just shout out to God, because he was like, you got to do this, and I was like, oh, okay. So that's also why I miss being unemployed, because I knew that once I start working, like my anxiety was already communicating with me. It's like, girl, I'm really nervous because I know I'm going to feel nervous and overwhelmed. And that's what I feel. But just praying that these upcoming months will be less stressful. But in this field, you can't choose your stress. You know, you're stressed a lot. And that's why they say self-care and boundaries. And communicate your needs. So I think I'm pretty okay in that area. But I have a lot of growing to do as a person, as a therapist. So interested to see what these upcoming months will be like. But you can tell I'm like feeling this. Shed some peace on your girl. Shed your peace on your girl. All right, story time. I don't want to share this, but I got my first car dent. Boo, boo, just boo. So what happened was, I was backing up in a parking lot, so cautious of not backing into the car behind me that I didn't look at the car in front of me. And I hit a car. I hit a fucking parked car. It was a pickup truck, so for that person, he didn't get no damage. But for me, I did. So it was right under the headlight of the left hand front, the front part of my car, left side. And it was right below the headlight. So shout out that it didn't damage the headlight, but it definitely like caused a dent in the bumper. I was so frustrated, y'all. I was like, no way, Blue Dream. No way. Like, really? This just happened? Oh. I was so like torn. And so I left. I did. I left. I was so nervous. I was just like, I'm not trying to do this today. You know, do the whole contact them, leave a note. Ugh. I wasn't. You're probably like, Marissa. Oh. Not literally that. You're probably like, Marissa, why? So it bugged me for 3 days straight. And this is when you know the Holy Spirit be communicating with you. The feeling of feeling convicted came upon me for 3 days. And I talked to my mom and my sister, and they're like, the right thing to do is go back. And I ended up doing the right thing. And it was a lesson. It really was a lesson, because it was one of the lessons. What it was listen to the Holy Spirit, listen to that feeling of discernment, and I ended up doing the right thing. So I applaud myself for that. God saw that. And it was a lesson because, you know, my family guided me on doing the right thing. You know, they didn't bring so much of, what? You did what? You need to go back now. They didn't tell me what I needed to do. They suggested. They said the right thing would be to go back, or you could just continue feeling the way you do, and maybe everything will be okay and you don't need to. But I like that, because it also taught me something in my role as being a therapist. It's like, Marissa, you don't need to control all the time. You're here to just assist, and you're here to just like, what is it called? Like, just guide. You're not controlling. You're not bringing the horse to water. You're literally just letting your clients know their options and what they can do. It was also a lesson that to accept the fact that happened, and I could just leave it, my car being dented like that, or I could pay for it. So I went back, and before I tell you what I ended up doing with the car, I went back, and the security came out, because he probably saw me on the camera coming back because I came back 3 days in a row to check the car, to check his truck, the person's truck, because it was eating me alive that much. So on the third day I came back, security guy came out. He definitely saw me through the cameras for 3 days in a row. And he was like, can I help you? And I was like, I'm caught now, girl. You could either lie or be like, this is what happened. So I ended up telling him the truth. I was like, actually, I'm here to find out who's that car belonged to. And he knew. He's like, oh, I know who that is. And I was like, oh, man, he knows him. I was like, yeah, can you bring him out, because I scratched his car? or hit it. Didn't really scratch. So guy came out. He happened to be very nice and super understanding. He could probably tell I was nervous. I told him the truth that I came back. This happened 3 days ago. I hit your car. My car got the damage. Your car did not. I just still here to just confess and just let you know what happened. We walked together, showed it to him, and he was like, "You're fine. Like nothing. This is not bad at all. Like you're okay." I was like, "Okay, good." Um, and so, he ended up not needing to exchange, car information or any of that. I went on with my day and I just felt better that I did the right thing. The car now, I went to go to one car dealership. They did communicate with me. I would have to replace the whole bumper and it would look like a couple thousand, excuse me, a couple $1,000s. So I just decided to just accept the L. And I felt like God spoke to me too about it, because he was like, this is so beautiful the way that God be talking. Like God be deep. He got me knowing I love deep. Like I hate small talk. God was like, even you that has a lot of damages and is broken, I still love you and accept you the way that you are. And so I felt like God was talking to me and saying, you're gonna love that car no matter what. And so I had to ask myself, I was like, do you still love that car? I was like, absolutely, 1,000% yes. Are you still going to drive that car? Absolutely, 1,000% yes. Although the dent affects you, do you still cherish it? Are you still thankful? Is it still a gift? Absolutely, 1,000% yes. So no matter what, my car has a damage. She's hurt. I still love her. I still love that car no matter what. And you know what? It gets me upset that I see it, the dent, every single day. But I'm just, I guess, learning to accept it. There's really nothing I could do. It happened. But I'm not willing to pay thousands of dollars at the moment. I am not. Um, so that's that. And to switch on to something else, I'm really happy I did this. I hosted my first Christmas girls' night, and that was last Friday. Super cute, super fun, super cozy. It was pajama style. We did white elephant, which is like the gift exchange. We did potluck style, so I cooked. Everyone came with yummy food and goodies. My girls were there, and we all had so much fun. It went really well, and yeah, I loved it. My heart was so full, and I realized that I love hosting. I love leading things. I love being an MC. I love being a host, and it's definitely not going to be the last time for me to do something like this. I felt very festive. As you can see, I'm smiling. It made me feel very, very happy. So if you're watching this and you came, thank you so much for coming, because you filled my heart so much. I had so much fun. We were all laughing. It just was a really good turnout. I realized that I, want to continue doing these gatherings, and I have an idea that what I would like to do in the new year, and I hope that I do it. Um, and I love, my favorite part of that night was when, and I'm nervous too, I'm nervous being a leader and hosting things and having ideas, because you never know if like someone's gonna be like, that's cringy. My thing is like, I'm so fear of like what people think. So I wanted to start off the night with kind of going around and just doing a check-in with everybody. I was like, it's the therapist in me, y'all. It is the therapist in me. But it's not even that. I've always been like this. Even as a kid, I've always been like super intellectual. So I started off the night like that, and I went off first. I just shared like a high and a low, and then I did say I would love for us to get deep, but not pushing you all if you don't want to do that. And we all got deep. Like I had shorties crying. 3 of the girls were crying because they all disclosed very personal things, and I was like, oh wow that they engaged in my idea, but oh wow isn't like, oh wow, like thank you for sharing that. No, like for real, like thank you for sharing that, because this is a safe place, and that's the kind of environment I want to create. It's a safe place. It's people where people get vulnerable. It's where people share things, and people feel a sense of belonging. And I felt like that was accomplished that night. and it encouraged me and inspired me to do more of these, because if I needed it and I saw that they needed it, then we all need it. Then we all need it. So it was so beautiful. So beautiful. Love it. Last thing to close off this video, this podcast, is to talk about my New Year's goals. I love that I do this. I do set goals. I do engage in New Year's resolutions. It's important for me. As you know, I'm a big yapper. This is how I process things. This is how I heal. This is what I enjoy: talking, reasoning things out, processing things, reflecting. And so I was like, I want to end this video with sharing some of my goals. I got a goal from, the Christmas party. I'm not going to share that because I also want to practice keeping things to myself and not always being an open book. I want to work on that goal first before I can say I'm going to do it. But the first goal is just feeling confident at work. I shared a lot of feelings of overwhelm, feeling a lot of anxiety, and I just don't like those feelings, although it's normal. So I really hope that God just gets in my boat and helps me feel confident and guided in the way that I should be, and just growing. I just really want to flourish as a person. I want to flourish as a clinician, and I want to just flourish as a person again. I want to get my money up because, this is my first big girl job, and all I've known was school, and, financials were limited because I didn't have a job, or it was a part-time job. So I want to get my money up. I want to be able to afford things that I've always wanted, like a kitty. That's funny. That's my next goal. I want a kitty. I really want to have my own cat, my own pet here in my apartment. So once I get my money up, that's the first thing I want to get is a cat. I want to continue on my fitness journey. So that's another update there. I am pouring into myself more, and I said enough is enough. I do not enjoy the way that my body looks. I have gained so much weight, and it was literally stress. I think like the number one thing that caused me to gain weight is growing up, puberty, right? But it was definitely stress. And so I hired a personal trainer, and he's amazing. I've been trying to go 3 times a week. And he's amazing. And his prices are very, very affordable. So shout out to you right now, because I needed to find something that was affordable since I'm getting my money up. Oh, it's cold in here. I think that window's open. Staying close to God, because God's already been so much a part of my post-grad life, and I felt so connected to him. And I want to continue that, because all glory to God. Like I said, thank you, God, for me being able to express my feelings and not say that I'm depressed. I mean, I know I'm still transitioning into work, and the feelings of overwhelmed and anxiety are rising, but thank you, God, I have not felt depressed at all. And that's just such a blessing for me to say. So staying close to God, really staying close to him, and inviting him in this space, because I can't do this alone. And my last thing is just to continue focusing on my needs, pouring into myself more, choosing myself, listening to my body, and just keep practicing self-care, because it is so important that we do that. It is so important that I do that for myself. Lately, I've been feeling very sensitive as well. And so these are the extra times where I should really just tap into my inner child and give her what she needs and give her that hug. So today she wants to cook, she wants to make coquito, she wants to watch movies, and she wants to be with her man. And she wants to be all cozied up. And she wants to be in the Christmas spirit. So that's what we're going to do, is listen to my needs. And I know this is growth that I'm saying this. And this is also why I do enjoy growing up and all of that. All right, we're going to make it at the 50 mark. So thank you so much for tuning in, for listening to me yap for 50 minutes. That's a lot for myself too. So I just hope you all are doing well. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll see y'all in the new year. Bye! We did it!